came to Royal after she married Alonzo Pickett Jones in Jackson, Mississippi. Salome was a cousin to Medgar Evers, and when he was assassinated, she was seated at his funeral next to his lawyer, Thurgood Marshall. Turns out they all got along real well and even exchanged letters. Letters she often quoted to encourage Tedious, especially when it came to piano practice. Tedious couldn't wait to run down to Miss Thea's to practice on the town's only piano, a real old beauty with big gold letters on the front that said, Cable, Chicago. When he wasn't playing, he'd sit on a small sandhill and observe. As he watched, he composed. When he wasn't playing, he'd sit on a small sandhill and just observe. As he watched, he composed in his mind a musical description of life in Royal. And when he played, Miss Thea heard and saw it too. She heard the clouds pass over swaying fields of Timothy with the grand and swelling fullness of Art Tatum. She heard the sunlight sparkle through the tops of the live oaks with the perfect rhythm and flow of Billy Strayhorn. In the pounding dissonant chords and key changes that could have been Thelonious Monk, young Tedious showed her the men of Royal leading their mules through the fields, their weights splayed over the crossbars of ancient tillers. Thing is, Tedious had never heard anyone play jazz. With each practice session, there was more new music pouring out of his head, and those who heard him play were convinced that God himself, with tears in his eyes, held that empty score sheet up so Tedious could write upon it. Today, and 16 platinum albums later, the world-famous jazz pianist is meeting his old friend and bassist, Vernon Williams, at Le Versailles Assisted Living Facility. Although they haven't seen each other for over 15 years, Williams eagerly agreed to play another gig with his old buddy. Williams eagerly agreed to play another gig with his old friend. There were probably 30 people. A woman and 3 men were sitting attentively near the stage in a small group. Vernon figured they were the hard of hearing. For 2 hours, the old friends entertained themselves in a crowd that only got larger as the afternoon wore on. And of course, there was wild applause at the end of the concert. An aide walked toward the woman in the hard-of-hearing group. Tedious stepped off the stage to join them, motioning to Vernon, who could see now that the woman had cloudy eyes that were of no use to her anymore. Vernon, he said as he placed her wrinkled hand into his friend's strong fingers, I'd like to introduce you to my mother, Salome Jones. It's very good to meet you, Miss Salome. My name's Vernon Williams. She ran her pencil-thin fingertips all over a strong hand, top and bottom, and she reached out with her other hand, fishing for Tedious. She gave a squeeze to each of their hands. Tedious kissed his mother's cheek. She patted the side of his face, waved goodbye, and walked away with the aide so Tedious could be with his friend. Vernon knelt to put his bass away. He glanced up at Tedious, who had just dropped the fallboard over the piano keys. That's an old piano, I bet. What's that say on it? Tedious didn't need to look down. As the image of a little sandhill in Royal flashed across his memory, he replied, It says Cable, Chicago. This is Jack O'Brien. Thanks for listening.
Like what you've just heard? I Could Tell You Stories with Jack O'Brien is brought to you by Brick City Digital. Hi, I'm Michael Warren, and at Brick City Digital Marketing, we believe every business has a great story to tell. Our job is to help your business tell your story in a way that brings more customers to your door. We help small businesses just like yours with web design, social media, SEO, video, and more. Visit us online at brickcity.com or call 352-351-1131 for a free consultation.
This is Ocala Talks with Tom Schmidt, bringing stories that are important to our community in and around Ocala. Plus, of course, a splash of sports as well. Now, here's your host, Tom.
Welcome back. Hour number 2. Jack O'Brien tells good stories. He's a good storyteller, and he's on with us every Monday, most Fridays, and some Wednesdays, depending on when you catch him. Hey, this story out of Callahan, Florida. That is technically where I'm from. You know, I tell people I'm from South Georgia. They go, what part? I go, Jacksonville. Technically, I am from Callahan, Florida. If you hadn't saw this over the weekend, it happened Friday morning. My sister was on her way down from Callahan to come visit me. My older sister and younger sister both came visit me Friday. And my younger sister had to go around this detour because she lives right there in Callahan. She works for the town of Callahan, and she lives right there where this happened. But multiple agencies are currently searching for Patrick McDowell. That's right. He's wanted in the shooting death of Nassau County Sheriff's Office Deputy Joshua Moores. Moyer was shot twice during a traffic stop in Callahan on Friday. He later succumbed to his injuries yesterday. McDowell is considered armed and dangerous. He's also accused of shooting a Jacksonville Sheriff's K-9 officer. The areas of Sandy Ford Road and US 301 in Callahan are still heavy police presence there. You can see about 200 vehicles and deputies in the area. Don't be alarmed. They're just doing the manhunt as it enters its fourth day. There is a GoFundMe set up to help Officer Moyer's family to provide healing support for his fiancée. 29-year-old deputy and his fiancée were in the process of planning their wedding. Nassau County Sheriff's Office said they sent out things last night to tell Callahan residents at about 6 a.m. today there'll be a heavy police presence in the Sandy Ford and US 301 area of Callahan because they're looking for this guy. The school board superintendent for Nassau County has announced school will be on modified lockdown today until further notice due to the ongoing police activity. But as I said earlier, Nassau County Sheriff's Office announced that Deputy Joshua Moyers passed away yesterday. In a news release, they said it was with great sadness that I announced Deputy Josh Moyers has passed away this afternoon, September 26, 2021, at 2:19 p.m. at UF Health in Jacksonville. Please keep Josh's family and fiancé in your thoughts and prayers as we navigate this terrible tragedy. That's from Sheriff Bill Leeper. So, just one of these situations where every day you want to defund the police, you want to talk about defunding police, you want to talk about this, you want to talk about that. Here's a police officer did nothing wrong. Initiated a traffic stop, walked up to the traffic stop, and got shot in the head. That's right. Took a bullet to the head. And all he was doing was his job, just a traffic stop, pulling somebody over. You never know when somebody's end of watch is going to be and what the circumstances are. Well, we know now that the circumstances here are that they're looking for this fugitive. There's an all-out manhunt going on looking for Patrick McDowell. Go look, just look the name Patrick McDowell up. You'll see some mugshots and everything. If you see the guy, call police, call Crime Stoppers. Do not approach him. Do whatever you can to get him get him in custody, but you don't approach him yourself. So it's one of those situations where we talk about it all the time, that you never know how somebody's end of watch will be or when it will happen. Well, Deputy Moore's end of watch was yesterday around 2:16 p.m. on the 26th of September, 2021. So just wanted to bring that story to you. Tragic story that happened in my hometown. So just one of those situations where you just can't believe it happened, but it's the world we live in. Take a break, come back. More right here on Ocala Talks, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. This is WOCA, The Source.
Hello, I'm Mark Sears with Regency Printing. With over 10 years in the printing business, I know you'll find Regency Printing the place for all your local printing needs. Plus, I have fax services, mailbox rentals, notary service, U.S. mail, pack and ship, all at one convenient location, 2375 Northeast 25th Avenue. Just look for the yellow signs. Regency Printing, 789-6683. That's 789-6683. Regency Printing.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, a new spoiler, and a new trunk.
Yep, we can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too.
Well, as a matter of fact, join me, Matt Gibbs from Sunrise Automotive, every Tuesday at 10 for auto repair with personal care right here on The Source.
Celebrity Soul Food flagship restaurant is now here in Ocala. Best-in-class service and legendary recipes. You'll be elevated with a classy design in this 3,800 square foot restaurant with a menu that has scratch-made dishes prepared with a VIP experience for every guest.